Greetings, my fellow freedom-loving sovereign thinkers. This is L3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting from the beautiful, swampy mangroves of South Florida. And today's date is Saturday, March 9th, 2019. Yeah, I got a little warmer out here today in sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. All the kids are out there indulging on the beaches as well. And I'm just, doing my thing. Took a nap early last night. Got a little tired. Running around a lot. That's alright. It's part of life, right? Absolutely. Yeah, so it looks like everyone's wigging out on what's going on in Washington, D.C. with H.R. 1. And makes me laugh what's happening in Hawaii as well, trying to repeal the Second Amendment. Yes, government knows best. We'll protect you. Put your hands up there, folks. To my fellow Hawaiians out there. Yeah, they all want you to leave your security eggs in the hands of the representative of Honolulu. Alright? Precisely. I'm going to be talking about these two articles and give you some memorable intake. Because it is completely laughable and treasonous. And some of those folks out there that supports H.R. 1, even in the Congressional District of Florida, ought to be shaming themselves as well. They know who they are, and if they don't like what I say, I could care less. So, without further ado, this one here came from the Geller Report, and it came out a couple days ago. It says, House Democrats try to censor free political speech with Orwellian H.R. 1 for the People Act. I proudly oppose this. Let's read what she has to say here. The bill proposes a radical expansion of government control over political speech. What else did you expect from the left? The Democrats and the left in general have all been shutting down the speech of their opponents for years. That's why social media giants are hard at work censoring, scrubbing, deplatforming, and silencing voices of freedom. Yes, and Congressman Ted Deutsch is for that as well. Yeah. Oh, I said his name? Sorry about that. That's why speaking the truth about the jihad terror threat will get you defamed, ridiculed, vilified, and smeared. Don't worry about it. When I call politicians bend over Bobs to New World Order or tyrannical Uncle Tom's and Aunt Mamas, that's a lot better. Now it says here, it's only a matter of time if the current leadership of the Democrats gain full power. Free speech will definitely be dead. Let the fear begin. I'll continue on here. House Democrats try to censor free political speech with H.R. run by Adam Brannon, Washington Examiner, March 6, 2019. The Orwellian H.R. 1 for the People Act threatens the very existence of our First Amendment right to speak and associate freely. The bill proposed a radical expansion of government control over political speech, including provisions that would force 501c4 social welfare organizations to disclose their donors, force private digital companies to release customers lists, and broaden the definition of a lobbyist, include even the most basic political action. Democrats are calling this an anti-corruption bill. It's not. H.R. 1 for the People Act is one of those most brazen assaults on free speech we've seen in decades. Passing this legislation would have a devastating and permanent chilling effect on political speech. It's like the Patriot Act, right? God bless the For the People Act. When the state says bend over, the people go, how far, please? Precisely. Political donations and speech are classified as protected speech under the First Amendment. There is no constitutional requirement for the source of that speech to reveal itself. In today's hyper-polarized political climate, linking your identifying information to political speech comes with very serious risks. We all know the business of politics is ugly. The public face of an organization or set of values is made vulnerable to online harassment at best and physical harm at worst. Putting yourself out there is dangerous. That's why votes are kept private. Charity donations can be made anonymously. And reporters enjoy the right to keep their sources anonymous. And I have to agree with that. A reasonable expectation of privacy for political speech exists to protect our safety. It has been less than 5 years since conservative groups were targeted and persecuted by Lois Lerner and the IRS. And since then, the political climate has only become more toxic. Yes, the 16th Amendment is ruled unconstitutional because 3/4 of the states never ratify it. So you know what? To all you IRS tyrannical scumbags out there that think the world should revolve around you, I gave you the 2 middle fingers, and you know what? You can find me and all that, and I don't give a damn. And I say that in good faith. They are treasonous parasites, plain and simple. In the past few years, Americans watched in horror as a madman attempt to assassinate members of Congress during the baseball practice. They watched high school students wearing MAGA hats go viral online, resulting in death threats, doxing, and bomb threats called into their school. Social media predators released the location of the student's parents' workplace in hopes the deranged will show up to do them harm. That's why, my friends, you always got to look at things in a bigger picture and be vigilant in these areas. Americans must watch congressional Democrats drag the reputation of public servants like Brett Kavanaugh through the mud in front of his loved ones and the world. But if some of the other people that do that, that's exceptional because they're my friends. And as I go on here, they watched Democratic socialists threaten to bring a gun to a mega event in Trump International Hotel, tweeting, "I am coming with a gun and I expect to get numerous bloodstained MAGA hats as trophies." You know, usually I say to a clown like them, don't worry, I shoot back. And I'm not being arrogant or macho, friends, but that's the only kind of rhetoric they want to use to get people living in fear. Don't fall for it. This goes on. Search for the internet for Trump supporters beat up and watch the results come pouring in. This is what civic engagement looks like in 2019. People hack into your phone, they show up at your house, they leave horrific messages and images in your children's social media feeds and attempt to run your business out of town. Do you honestly think the average family would subject itself to this level of scrutiny and peril for a $100 donation or a Facebook ad? It's just not worth it. And that is it on this area. And I can tell you this about H.R. 1. It is invalid, repugnant, unacceptable. And the truth of the matter is, my friends, every state in the union could tell them to stick it. I know it may not pass in the Senate, but regardless, checks and balances, right? Precisely. It does not supersede our Bill of Rights culture. It's nothing more than penile microphone deception, rhetorical sham. As it reads here in Marbury versus Madison, which came around in 1803, it's from the Constitution Society. And John Marshall, Mr. Justice Marshall, made a statement here, all the way down this paragraph. It says here, certainly all those who have framed written Constitution contemplate them as forming the fundamental and paramount law of the nation. Excuse me, getting hiccups here. And consequently, the theory of every such government must be that an act of the legislator repugnant to the Constitution is void. You heard that, right? You want me to go super slow? That an act of the legislator repugnant to the Constitution is void. What does that mean? Shred it. Wipe your rear end with it and flush it down the toilet. All you gotta do is just read. Why live in fear, folks? Shove this down their throats. They don't care, but why should we treat them with respect? You know what's funny about these dingbats? They don't even have the courage to go in person out these town hall meetings. They want a teleconference. Why? Because they want to control you like a bunch of peasants. House and field peasants. Okay, boss. Everything's great, boss. That's right. They don't look at you as a wonderful, enlightening human being. They want you to be dumb, stagnant, and happy, and going there like Fido, looking for your bone. So I can tell all those dingbats out there, those treasonous Uncle Toms and Aunt Jemimas in the House of Representatives, H.R. 1 is null and void. Your defense mechanized rhetoric will give you a penile microphone, and don't worry, I'm not saying it's sexual harassment either. The truth really hurts, doesn't it, friends? All right, I'll do one more here. I'm in the mood for a short but sweet episode. And it reads here, this is from Tim Brown. It came out yesterday. House senators urge Congress to repeal the Second Amendment. Yes, I do love to support Pol Pot as my Lord and Savior. And Idi Amin Dada. Adolf Hitler, Joseph Stalin, and Chiang Kai-shek, Mao Tse-tung. Hallelujah. My role models. That's what the Hawaiian senators have to say about this. So let's just read what these clowns have to address. I don't know where these people come from, but rights are not repealable. They are unalienable, which means they can't be given nor taken. Only cowards equate to either of those. Yet, here are the cowardly tyrants in the state of Hawaii introducing resolutions that encourage Congress to violate the Constitution and the rights of the people, the very thing they took oath before God and man to uphold. Hawaii state senators, all of them Democrats, introduced Senate Resolution 29 and Senate Concurrent Resolution 42, both of which conclude with these lines. Be it resolved by the Senate of the 13th Legislature of the State of Hawaii, regular session of 2019, the House of Representatives concurring that the United States Congress is urged to propose and adopt a proposed amendment to the United States Constitution pursuant to Article 5 of the United States Constitution to clarify the constitutional right to keep and bear arms, and be further resolved that the United States Congress is requested to consider and discuss whether the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution should be repealed or amended to clarify that the right to bear arms is a collective rather than an individual constitution right. This is how weak and pathetic these clowns are. Okay? Now, I'm going to continue on here. Unbelievable. The senators of Hawaii had just declared war on the United States, its Constitution, and its people should summarily be arrested for undermining the very laws order upheld. Chris Gomez at the New American Rights. The proposal to deny Americans their right to possess firearms underscored the serious dangers of amending the federal Constitution in this current age. And although neither resolution is an application to Congress to call a convention for proposed amendments, also known as the Convention of States or Constitutional Convention CONCON, under Article 5 they offer a preview into the type of amendments that Hawaii delegation to such a convention would propose should one be called by Congress. What a bunch of cowards, you know what I'm saying? In fact, Hawaii lawmakers have already suggested a convention to propose among one of its aims. An amendment to just that. In 2012, Liberal Democratic State Legislature introduced a House Concurrent Resolution 114, a radical leftist CONCON application that sought to repeal the Second Amendment, declare Obama to be constitutional, and to abolish the Electoral College. The key excerpts from Hawaii's HCR 114 2012 read, whereas the legislature supports the proposal and ratification of the following amendments to the United States Constitution. 1. The repeal or modification of the Second Amendment to strengthen firearms restrictions. 2. A declaration of the constitutionality of the Federal Patent Protection and Affordable Care Act, including the individual mandate requiring the purchase of health care. Yes, I'm a slave master. We are slave masters from the representatives of Hawaii on the state level, to be exact. They love slavery, I would say, right? involuntary servitude hierarchy, and 3, an amendment to Article 1, Section 5 to prohibit the supermajority cloture requirement under Rule 22 of the United States Senate for ending floor debates and filibusters to facilitate a more reasonable voting standard for cloture. 4, an amendment abolishing the Electoral College established under Article 2, Section 1 and providing a direct election of the United States President and Vice President by voters. And an amendment to Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2 to require that the Senate confirmation of appointments of officers of the United States made it by a simple majority vote within 60 days of the nomination. These guys here love centralization. They should be wearing an I love Karl Marx button, right? Be further, it resolved that this concurrence resolution constitutes a continuing application in accordance with Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution until at least 2/3 of the legislatures of the several states have made application for a constitutional convention that is limited to consideration of the amendments to the United States Constitution enumerated in this concurrent resolution. Fortunately, HC 114 failed to pass in 2012. However, like both SR 29 and SCR 42 of 2019, also reveals just how far some on the left are willing to go to eviscerate our constitutional freedoms. One should not expect liberal delegates to an Article 5 convention, especially coming from stronghold blue states such as Hawaii, California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Oregon, and Washington, to sit idly by as purportedly conservative Republicans make changes to the nation's law of the land. In fact, even the so-called conservatives at Mark Beckler's Convention of State Projects Action Organization, known as COS, may not be reliable guardians of the Second Amendment. These are the only lost tyrants who have advanced this idea. We all had all sorts of past and present politicians who have pushed for outright gun confiscation to what they call common sense regulations, which are actually stupid. Remember Dianne Feinstein in 1995? Absolutely. And yes, she blurs out the truth in 2017. She admits that no gun laws can stop mass shootings or any gun crime for that matter. Another video down here. Then there was a relic of the 20th century, former Supreme Court Justice John Paul Stevens, who wrote that the Second Amendment should be repealed because it was relic to the 18th century. The another Uncle Tom bend over Bob that makes Benedict Arnold a courageous patriot, right? These people have no idea why the Second Amendment was written, no idea that corrupt men and governments will continue to exist to advance tyranny, and arms a means of the people keeping them in check, not to mention the defense of their persons, families, and communities. Of course, John Birch Society put out a video titled Tricked into Gun Control, which demonstrates that the idea of clarifying the Second Amendment is just another way of attempting to create outlaws out of law-abiding citizens that leads to gun confiscation. I say no victim, no crime, right? And that's it. A bunch of videos here. And I can tell these to the clowns in Hawaii, the senators this week, these dingbats are treasonous. And the people in Hawaii should be paying attention to this. Rights of individuals, Article 1, Section 2, which is the Bill of Rights in Hawaii. All persons are free by nature and are equal in the inherent of inalienable rights. Among these rights are the enjoyment of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and acquiring and possessing the property. Firearms are property too, right? These rights cannot be endured unless people recognize the corresponding obligations and responsibilities. Make it hit 6. Right of privacy. The right of people to privacy is recognized and shall not be infringed without the showing of compelling state interest. Legislators shall take affirmative steps to implement this right. And we can go all the way down here. I think it's to 16. No, excuse me, 17. Right to bear arms. A well-regulated militia being necessary to secure a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So, my fellow brothers and sisters in Hawaii, those folks that support these pathetic resolutions breach their oath of office, not just on a federal level, but on a state level. Yes, they are traitors, no ends, ifs, or buts. Call them out on it. They're nothing more than garbage, as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't matter what you look like. I defy all forms of tyranny, and I'm very damn proud of it. This collective propaganda, please, null and void. There's some issues, battles, and differences, which is okay. We've all been there. But the fact is this, my friends. It is going to be raining. And I'm like, that's okay. It's going to be raining, but you know what? The truth shall prevail, and everyone will be liberated. In due time, these goofballs will receive blowback when least expect it. And don't worry, we don't have to do anything. They're great at stepping in their own bear trap. All right, my friends, that is it. I'd like to thank everyone for listening, but feel free to download and share this throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, when we said something that's interesting and want to check out, whatever you do, please send your correspondences with decorum. In addition, I'll be posting my social media sites and email addresses along in my Spreaker page. All right, my friends, once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demoniac resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.